Okay, so as people are filling out that poll, letting us know how many listings, we all know that listings is one of the L's and one of the best way to survive in this business. And it's in order to get listings and run them efficiently and run your business efficiently and generate referrals and really help your clients win, you need to have your processes documented. And what you're looking at here is the detailed listing workflow, right? So I'm a very visual learner. So when I was learning everything as a real estate agent, I couldn't quite put all the pieces together because I knew the lead to contract phase, which is what you see on the left, was pretty linear. But once we were under contract, a lot of things started happening at once. So as I was documenting things, I was trying to draw things out and understand it. So when we document people's processes, we do it both visually in visual workflows like you see here. And then we also do it in checklists, and we'll show you those here very briefly. But what you're looking at here is the detailed listing workflow. Everything that's in blue is something that a client does, and it's usually just like a decision. And then what you see in yellow is what other parties take care of, like the inspector or the lender, etc. And then everything in green is what we, the real estate agent or the real estate agent team, is responsible for. Now, it's a lot of work. You can see there's a lot of stuff going on here, but how much of this can we actually outsource? How much can we have other people do? Raul, if you want to go to the next slide. Everything that you see in this new light blue is something that a non-licensed agent can do and therefore is outsourceable. And anything that you do more than once can be documented, and then it can be outsourced. And you can document it in a way that people get things done exactly how you want it done every single time. And you can have the process documentation manage that person so you don't have to micromanage that person. I am a micromanager because I'm so particular about how things are done. But I figured out that if I documented things correctly and then walked people through how to use that documentation, all I had to do at that point in time was inspect the final product. And if they followed my SOP, then they were going to get the results that I would give at the same time. So what you're looking at here is just what can be outsourced from a real estate transaction point of view. So if you want to hop to the next slide, Raul.
So Chase, still a bit unclear what you mean by sales documentation, where all EXP agents have to use the same docs and systems to put in transactions, etc. Also, I'm a buyer's agent, so would this still apply to me? So,
awesome question, Anna. Thanks for asking. So, by process documentation, when we show you the checklist, it'll probably make a lot more sense. Do you know what you do at every single step of the way with buyers every single time? Like, oh shoot, first thing I need to do is, we set up a buyer consultation. And then after that what happens within the buyer consultation? What questions do I need to know? Are they pre-approved? After they're pre-approved, then what happens? We start touring houses. What if we tour too many houses? So it gets really granular of what you do every single time with that. Now we're all with EXP. We have to use the same docs, the same systems, SkySlope. That's part of it, So what you see of those, once we're under contract, there are usually 5 or 6 things that happen at the same time, right? So there's inspections and due diligence. There's lender communication, whether with your buyer or a seller. There's title and escrow, or if you're an attorney state. And there's client communication, admin. There's also marketing that happens for both buyers and sellers while we're under contract. It's all those individual pieces. Do you know what we do, when you do it, how you do it, etc. So that was probably a little long-winded, but Anna, did that kind of answer your question?
I think Anna, a little bit more on that, and this is for everybody, not just Anna, but Anna, thanks for asking the question. It was a very good question. You're right, we're all EXP agents and we use the same systems. However, though we're using the same systems, all of us, including me, or before I met Chase, including me, are doing things that we don't need to do. The emails that you're sending, the DocuSigns that you're sending out, the posting on Facebook. Now, I don't know about you, but how many people on this call love being on Facebook 15 hours a day, right? Nobody. And if you do, then you're like an anomaly. I want to meet you. But nobody enjoys being on Facebook 15 hours a day. We all are EXP agents, but we still have to market, right? This is not the day of past when someone will walk into a KW office and say, I'm ready to sell my house. Can I sell it with you? So all of those activities that you are currently doing, you don't need to do. And it's a major time suck, which is all these activities that, if I go to this previous slide, these are all these things in green are things that agents are currently doing that they don't need to be doing. That there's a very systematized process for, if that process is documented, that can be taken off your plate. So you can do the 4 activities that Tom Ferry calls money-making activities for agents, which are, Chase?
Prospect, follow-up, appointments, negotiate.
Prospect, follow-up, appointments, negotiate. That's what this is about in documentation, so that you can take your documented processes, hand them to somebody else, and they can do everything that you don't need to do, those 4 activities. Does that make sense, Anna? Does that make sense, everybody else? Paul, Nancy, Bob.
I warned you, he'd start calling on people.
I told you.
And I'll start doing it too.
All right. Makes sense. Paul, makes sense. Cool.
If you want to hop to the